Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. We have with us Mr. David Roberts, TAFE extraordinaire and all-round good fellow. Mr. Robert Whittaker, solid guy, avid gardener, brilliant smile, the biracial angel, Australian New Zealand's own, but always from South Auckland, Mr. Robert Whittaker. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in at an awkward time. Not awkward, just a different time.
It's a different time. I want to big props to David, who was working probably 2 hours away and made the drive down to do it at 7:30 p.m. in Australia, and he battled Sydney traffic to get here. Sydney traffic
hasn't eaten anything, hasn't done anything, just straight here, straight on the grind. For you guys,
he's
for
really
the fans.
special for all the fans, for the hundreds of thousands
of viewers out there,
people that are stuck to their TV screen waiting. David made it happen. You know, literally millions of people all around the world. Good on you, Dave.
No, thank you.
What's been happening, Rob?
Not much. Just the camp as usual. Little bit of media now and then. It's just wrapping things up really with the camp. Just little technical aspects. Keeping the fitness up. Not going to gain anything. Not going to get stronger. Not going to get fitter. Not going to get more technical at this point. You know, just.
So what are you doing? What are you focusing on right now?
Focusing right now is just on a lot of the small technical aspects of the fight. So you're trying to choreograph the fight, using trying to visualize how the fight will go down. Me and you do a lot of partner work with you try to simulate Adesanya as best as you can.
Please, I know. Like fucking, it's like, honestly, that's like getting a fucking brick to simulate a fish.
You know, as best as you can. No, it's surprising how similar you can really turn on.
David,
quite the actor.
Rob gets a brick and fucking tries to release it back into the wild, into the ocean.
Yeah, but so we just move around. We choreograph it. We just run through things. We're keeping the fitness up, keeping the strength up, making sure. Like a lot of it is just management at this point. It's just body management, making sure I'm healthy, I'm strong, everything's good, no injuries, and I'm roaring for October. Can't wait. How do you think this last bit of the camp is going from a coaching perspective?
I'm good. I'm just working on my product placement, drinking from my Kaplan cup, drinking water from my Kaplan cup. Just real smooth, like.
Yeah, clean.
Very, very smooth, like. No, I think it's going really good, man. I think the fight's going to be crazy. I think like whoever wins, but I think you're in the best prep I've seen you. You know, looking very good. And yeah, you're as prepared as you can be. You know, giving Israel his due. He's very, very tricky customer. Obviously, very hard to find someone to simulate him realistically. But you know, we're working on a lot of tendencies that he has that we can try and exploit, and trying as best as we can to cover the tendencies that you have to, you know, hopefully
100%.
stop that. And whoever is going to go out there and exploit their game plan to the best of their ability is going to win.
100%. You know, and I'm sure he's doing the exact same thing.
How do you deal with the pressure at this stage? Is the pressure there at this stage?
It's creeping up on me. Like it's no different than anything else or any other time. It's just what starts to make it more apparent is that, like, we're in the last month stage now. So like we're inside that month, and all the little things that come with being this close to the fight start to appear, such as you're starting to bring the food back. You have to do plan when you want to start water loading. You have to start monitoring your weight more rigorously. You know.
How much pressure do you feel at this stage, knowing the events of the last two fights here in Australia?
No more than usual. It's honestly, I have no hang-ups with what's happened with the previous fights I've been lined up in Australia. I have no hang-ups on that. I don't believe in superstition. I don't believe in any of that stuff. It is what it is. I'm going to go in there. I've done everything in my ability to bring the strongest, healthiest, fastest, fittest me to the octagon, to the event, and I can sleep well knowing I've done everything I can.
And it wasn't like you pulled out from injury either time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not like I had a broken hand or a sore ligament or a sore knee, because I've fought plenty of times with broken hands. I've gone into fights with tears in my ligaments, multiple times, like throughout my whole career. Like, it wasn't something that I could control like that, because realistically speaking, I'd probably go into a fight injured. I think a lot of
many
fights would.
times gone into.
And I've done that 100 times. But the illness that suffered me the last couple of times was just... anybody that says they would have fought through it, like you fight through getting surgery, like I'll pay you my fight pay if I can fight you after getting open bowel surgery. Okay? like you know...
Or fight you with chickenpox.
Yeah, but I get to keep the money if you die. That's only fair. But yeah, or fighting with chickenpox. Like, anybody who's gone chickenpox as a kid, as an adult...
Nah, it's horrible.
Like, I cannot express to you how bad it was. Like,
I have a vague memory of having chickenpox. I would have been 5.
Yeah, you see, but it doesn't do it justice, because the difference from getting chickenpox as a kid to an adult are ridiculous. Like, you as an adult, they become like scabs, like welts, and they open up and they scab up and they're itchy and they're sore, and you get them literally from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And I remember standing in the shower, because the pressure of the shower was comforting, just for hours, just sitting there. Calamine lotion doesn't do anything for chickenpox. And on top of that, you're also sick. Like, you got fevers and you're run down, like you're sick. And it was terrible. And I remember when I got it, because you're not supposed to scratch, because you can permanently scar yourself doing that. So my face, I didn't touch, to the best of my ability. I didn't touch my face, but to the places that would be covered by a shirt, I'd go rigorously scratching. Like, I don't care. Like, oh well, I'll take the scar.
But there's no scars. You didn't scar.
I'm lucky me.
Do you find that you don't scar that much?
Yeah, I'd have to say, touch wood. I'm blessed in that aspect that I don't scar a lot. I'm quite resilient to damage in a sense. Like, I swell up and bruise like everybody else, but in terms of like permanent cuts and injuries and things like that, my body's quite resilient,
There was a bit of a scare, which I think we can speak about a little bit, that you got a little bit of an infection, but it just went away. But it was on your nipple.
Yeah, just below it. And I got a little
just
bit...
now, like last couple of weeks, but it just was there for 3 days. It was just like a little bit of a...
Yeah, last couple of weeks, I got like a cyst sort of thing in my chest, and saying chest sounds better than just below the nipple.
No, it was the nipple.
No, it was just below the nipple.
It was one more time, Dave. I went to a doctor with him. Yeah. And again, I don't know that these creepy things are going to fucking happen.
You come to watch every time.
And I'm sitting there, and again, before you know it happens so quick. Because at first we're there, like going, okay, so, just like he was still training, everything was good, but he just noticed it on his nipple. So,
a little bit below my nipple.
Right on his nipple, And it was, let's just make sure everything's all right, you know what I mean? You don't want something bad to happen. And when we got there, the doctor's like, all right, before I got a chance to do anything, before I got a chance to excuse myself, because I just go in and make sure, that I
watch. To watch.
Yeah, to watch. And fucking the doctor just, boom, shirt off, and he's like, literally both hands, like this on
caressing his breast.
Yeah, and I was sitting there fucking awkward again, just looking at the ground. And the guy's going, so you see, Fab, and blah blah blah. And he's telling me about it, and I didn't want to make eye contact with anyone in the room. I was like uncomfortable, awkward, looking at the carpet, looking up at the sky, and nothing. No, everything was okay.
Yeah. To your defence, though, you took me to lunch afterwards. So
we went to lunch afterwards.
It's the least you could do.
Yeah, the least.
No eye contact, but for a long time.
But yeah, no. So I got like this cyst lump thing in my chest, and it was a bit of an infection. Like, it hurt. That's how I knew it was an infection. And it was a bit of a scare. We thought it could have been a staph or something like that. But 3 days and it was gone, and I was all good again. So didn't even have to stop training, because I wasn't feeling sick or anything like that. It just
and it wasn't like a pimple, like
no, it wasn't a pimple. It was just like, and it could have been just like a little bit of fatty tissue. The doctor said, and these things happen, I guess. But yeah,
did that scare you?
No, it's something nobody wants. Like, especially this close to a fight, especially when we got it was a couple of weeks ago now. That's like the pinnacle of the training. Like, that's kind of the hardest bit. Because at this point now, we've got a couple more weeks of hard-ish training, but it's more tapering off and making sure I'm healthy. Whereas a couple of weeks ago, which was like the 5-6 week mark, that's when you should be hitting it. And so I was more worried that it would interrupt my training, and set me back a little bit. But, it didn't. God bless, touch wood, and yeah.
All right. What do you think of the fights on the weekend? Khabib and Dustin.
Mate, what are we going to start with? Let's start with the main event.
Main event, Khabib versus Dustin.
Mate, I said it before. I can't see Khabib losing anytime soon. I just can't. He put work on Dustin. Dustin is a great fighter, and you know every opponent that goes in there to fight Khabib knows what Khabib's going to do. They know. So I'm sure Dustin has worked wrestling defense rigorously, like the entire camp, like bringing in guys, probably doing extra wrestling, just working that section. That
I thought Dustin did all he could do.
100%. Like props to Dustin for doing that much, because I can't. Khabib is something else. His cardio, his subtle techniques, his arm endurance, his stamina, and you know which blew me out of the water as well. His chin. He copped like one of Dustin's like textbook left hands on the button of the chin as
he hit him both right hands and left
as Khabib was going out. As he was going out, chin up, he landed it flush right on the chin. Khabib just took it.
But he was a little bit.
Yeah, but he took it. Like he took it. He backed up and then he walked forward again. Like he took it. Yeah. He's not impervious to damage.
No, but I was very impressed with the two. I was impressed. Two things. Like I was impressed when he got hit. And he was able to regather, because Dustin came at him like he was throwing leather at him after that.
Yeah, especially
when he saw him hurt.
The second round. Yeah, you know, and it's funny that because Dustin did throw a lot of leather once when he saw that he landed that shot. It was like a left and then a right and then a little flurry and then another one, and yeah, he started going into him. And you see Dustin fall off a cliff in that second round where his arms,
because he threw him hard.
Yeah, when his arms just blow out. And then Khabib just gets the takedown. And mate,
how are you, with your background as a striker? How do you when you hit someone? Because I think similar thing happened with Brunson and you. Brunson threw everything he could, didn't get the finish, and then he fell off a cliff. How do you avoid that?
That's a tricky question, and it's a hard answer, because I think a lot of it is experience. But there's no doubt in my mind that Dustin has the experience to make a judgment call on that in the fight. I think it was the right judgment call to make. I think he had to go in and he had to try and finish it there when he had him hurt, because the fight wasn't going to get better for him, to be honest. I think that was the right judgment call, and I think that's just something that comes with experience. You need to just build that experience to know when you've got your opponents hurt and when you can go in. Like the time I fought Jacare, I went in there and I had him hurt. I actually dropped him, but I didn't rush in and go absolutely bonkers. Like I went in, I threw a couple punches, like I even entered his guard. I threw a couple punches. Then I realized, no, this guy's not getting in. This guy's still in there. I don't want to be here when he wakes up. Yeah. So I got back out, and then he stood up, and then we just started again. You know, that was a judgment call.
I think
the right one.
How hard is it for you to determine that?
It's not something you can in your head work out percentages. It's just
there's a visceral play, but what is it that you see?
It's just something in the way my opponent moves, his facial expressions, the way he moves. Like I said, there's just a look about him. Like I knew when I got Jacare down that second time, I knew I could do him there. Like I knew I could finish his fight here because obviously I had confidence in that fact, because I jumped into his guard, which is something again you don't want to do with that guy. And yeah, it's just something you need to. It's just experience and experience and just seeing it.
How quickly can you blow your arms out? Like, you know what?
Yeah, anybody that thinks that wonders why they gas so quickly when they blow them out. Like, you go for a 100-meter sprint and then try hitting a bag. Like that's still not close to how you are in a fight. Like because in a fight with the adrenaline and everything, you're going much harder than you normally could. You know, so yeah.
Go and for system overload. Yeah. That's basically what it is.
Go for a 100-meter sprint, your absolute hardest, and then try hitting a bag. Or better yet, let your mate try and bash you.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be better if someone tries to hit you.
Yeah, try to keep your hands up when you've just gone for a 100-meter sprint, because that's exactly it. And it is hard. It is hard because it's funny. Like, a lot of the fans, they see guys, he's just gassed. Why can't he keep his hands up? Like, why is he getting hit so much? Why doesn't he just move out? And I think, like, I'm sure this guy doesn't want to get hit.
It's not like his coaches and him never prepared, and they're like, fuck, if only I'd read Sherdog more. You know what I mean? If only I read, I don't know, little angels fucking things. You know what I mean? Like,
mate, there's a point sometimes you reach in a fight, or you reach sometimes when you're so gassed that you can't defend yourself. You can't put your hands up. You can't walk away. The only option is to get punched in the face, or to lay down and quit. It's funny.
Speak about Khabib's arm endurance that you mentioned.
Yeah, I you know what I would love? I would love to, and we're going to work on this. I want to get someone who's 40 in, and I want to speak to him and be like, what's it like feeling him pressure you up against the fence? Because I am sure it's got to feel otherworldly. Because when he gets you, he sticks to you like glue. Like glue. He doesn't move. Granted, his positions are 90% always perfect, and he's doing the right things, and he's laying the right pressures, and
he's getting to the next position before you are.
And he's ahead of you, and he's also hitting you at the same time, making you, like, taking your attention away from the defense so that he can transition into the next stage of it flawlessly. But he sticks. He sticks. He doesn't leave. Like, a lot of the stuff I saw him do, I've tried doing it on the mats with the boys, with the guys, and it is so hard. It is so hard. And and the way Khabib was just getting to his back repeatedly, getting under his arms repeatedly, over and over and over, getting that body lock. It's just textbook. He must have unlimited arm endurance.
And then he gets up from that and punches.
Keep his hands up and punch and kick. And then,
how much easier is it though if you're the one holding the person down versus getting held down?
Yeah, now this is another funny one because initially,
full of funny ones today.
Yeah, the tricky questions. So for the casual viewer out there, getting the takedown is hard. Like the initial phase of the takedown. So attempting the takedown. If I try to take you down and you stuff it, it's harder for me. But if I get you down, solidify position, then it's harder for you. So phase 1 is hard for me, phase 2 is harder for you. And I think the way it balances up is that, like, you try to have more of a phase 2 than a phase 1.
But a Khabib who gets his takedowns, grinds you up against the fence.
If Khabib gets you in phase 2, you're not going anywhere. You're there for the whole round.
And then if you work your way up, He's still on you.
He can do it again. And
that's a big problem, is that transition occurs. You get up and he takes you back down.
Well, you know what's crazy about Khabib and the way he does it is, like, let's say you do get up. Like Dustin got up. Against all odds, he got up, and he did get up. Khabib got out. Dustin was tired. Khabib threw 1-2 and just reshot straight away. Khabib can get the takedown from a bad shot.
As long as he can catch and push you into the cage.
Poirier had both underhooks with that second double, and Khabib just went to the single leg, stepped in, took him down straight away, clean. Like, as long as he can touch you, as long as he has a hand on you, he can get the takedown, and it is unbelievable that level of, which opens up his whole stand-up game, because that level of threat of the takedown is ridiculous. It is remarkable.
Now, you fought a guy with higher credentials than him in Romero.
Yeah.
Was Romero comparable to him?
Nah. Romero's good, and he's got amazing wrestling, but it's not. I don't think Romero has the same grappling. You know how we were talking about on another episode that the grappling we think is a mixture of, like, strikes with the jiu-jitsu element and the wrestling element. I think Khabib is the best grappler in the world, hands down.
For combat
grappler in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas Romero is a better wrestler, but not the best grappler. I think Jacare was a very good grappler, combat grappler.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Romero's open mat wrestling though, even if for MMA is better than Khabib's open mat. When he shot the doubles, like when you were coming in, and he just go boom and shoot.
It's hard to say because I've never fought Khabib, but from my personal memory, there were times when I was fighting Romero in that first Romero fight where I would step into jab cross, I would step in for my blitz, I would step in to attack him, and he would disappear from my vision. Like he had dropped his level so quickly that like at one moment I'm looking at him and the next he's down me my ankles, and I'm sprawling like it's hoping for the best.
And he would just shoot like that.
He just shoot and you've seen him do it in a lot of fights. He can do long range doubles. He can do long range outside singles. Like his level. I think Romero is much more an explosive athlete. I think he's probably a more talented athlete. Like in terms of like genetics and things. Like he's a freak. He's a freak of a guy. Like so his open mat wrestling is very good. But
sorry, something that I don't think people can understand. It's like you're watching the guys, but you're watching the guy from side on, and you're watching that happen at a particular frame rate. But when you're standing in front of someone, it's like not just that they did it quickly. It's like the feel, like the dude anticipated you come forward, and then he changed levels, and you almost trip over him. You know what I mean? Like a good wrestler will kind of do that to you. And in terms of power, I suppose, with his strikes, I think Romero's probably more dangerous in that regard than Khabib.
Super dangerous. Like his level of explosiveness and power, like he dropped me a couple times in the last fight. He's a super heavy puncher, super heavy puncher. But that's Khabib's strength is that when he gets so much as a hand on you, he just takes you down and he keeps you there. And you know what I really liked about Khabib's wrestling game against that fight was the way I thought was cool. Was the way he was setting up the rear naked the entire time. How he was punching, grabbing his hand across your face and then pulling it across. And then as you turned your head, he'd slide the arm in the other way. And then you'd go back to defend and then he'd pull it back out. He'd punch you with the left. Then he'd feed the hand on across your face and pull it back across. And he just did that.
Extremely rude.
Super rude. Super rude. And he got a warning for like keeping his hands away from their eyes because obviously there's no danger there. But it was so effective, so effective. And I must imagine it must be so annoying. Like it's just so effective. And he just kept repeating that. And his hand control, his grip control. His grip must be made out of iron. Because he'd have Poirier pushed up against the fence, one arm deep on the single, controlling the other hand with the left.
And Poirier's a big, strong guy. Grapples, does jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt.
Yeah, good wrestler. And he would just hold that deep single, hold that grip. And then he did the same thing, the same takedown, I think twice. I thought it was so good. He lets go of the left, goes into the single, steps in with the right, sweeps out the supporting foot, and he does it so fast and so quickly. It's so strong, and it just.
He did a version of that against McGregor.
Yeah, and he did it twice against Poirier that I can remember, and it doesn't get you flat on your back, but it's enough for him to jump all over you.
It just fucks your life.
And that's the sort of takedown Khabib wants. He wants that dirty scramble where you're getting up in an awkward position because you're not used to that position because it's not a takedown that you're used to getting it done on you. And it was just I cannot see him getting beaten anytime soon.
You see when he's grabbing Poirier and he's kind of got him from the back and Poirier's hitting the switch.
Yeah.
And he's hitting the switch and Khabib I think was starting to bait him with that. Because he'd do it and then take his back.
Yeah, he'd just go with it and take his back or just land on
and keep the arms locked. Because in collegiate wrestling where they do that a lot, like you can't link your arms in collegiate wrestling. But he didn't get the memo. He just said, fuck this, I'm keeping my arms linked.
Yeah, forever. And he just always end up in the better position. You just go over the legs and then get in mount and then start triangling those legs up and getting back to work. And mate, it was a great fight to watch. Like,
can Ferguson do it?
I don't think anyone can. Honestly, I don't. I've looked at the division, and there are some killers in there. And like we said before, bar him running into a flying knee at 60 miles an hour, I don't see him losing. I don't think anyone, because Ferguson's been taken down, and if he can get taken down, Khabib will take him down, and Khabib will keep him down. And it just, bar getting clipped, which is possible because Poirier did hit him. So Poirier didn't knock him out, but maybe someone will. So there is that element. Oh, he could get clipped.
I mean, he can lose. I get what you're saying. Like he can lose. Like he's not impervious to. Yeah,
but I wouldn't put my money against him.
You know who did put his money against him? Andrew Cantley.
Did he? Kaplan.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a good bet. You know why? Because I think it was like 6-1 odds at one stage there, and you think like 6-1 odds.
Yeah.
Like 6-1 odds is like he can knock him out. Like it's not like Dustin Poirier can't fight.
Yeah. No, and they're the bets that make betting fun.
Yeah.
It's like you throw. They're the ones that you want to win. Like I'm guilty of doing that all the time. Going to the TAB as the fights are going on, just picking all the underdogs, winning through some sheer fluke.
I've never seen you win any of those bets.
You know what I did when I got which was a good payout, was when Bisping beat Rockhold. I bet on Bisping.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because he was paying something like 13-1 or something.
Really?
Because he lost the previous one.
Fuck, I would never put 13-1 odds.
Yeah.
Really, it was 13. How much money did you bet?
To win by knockout.
$10.
To win by knockout.
How much you put?
What?
Don't lie. Don't be.
$30.
You didn't put 30.
Yeah, it was 30.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because I put my $100 in, and then
you didn't put $100, man.
Nah, because they said whatever you put in, they'll double, and I got $200.
You didn't put in. You didn't put that much. Now we're being silly. We're telling lies.
I don't like how someone who owes me $23 million has the gall to talk about cheapness across the table,
mate.
Or who lost in virtual boxing.
Exactly.
Here comes fucking
exactly
Rob's saviour.
Have you noticed that like the trending memes and have they're starting to shift?
Rob's saviour, David Roberts, comes. No. You know, this isn't the first time I'll tell you a true story, and then we'll continue with fight talk. This isn't the first time that David Roberts has left me posted for his little Pacific Island boys.
What? Oh, John. Yeah. Here we go.
See, he knows it's true.
Here we go.
He knows it's true. This guy's.
I spent like a whole afternoon on the phone to him, justifying this whole story. There you go. You want to tell it?
September 1st, 1995.
Do you remember the date?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you.
Date, time, I got the full breakdown. Like, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
September 1st, 1995. John Makini, if you're watching, I have a lot of respect for you. I like you a lot. It's not you that I have a problem with. It's your mate, David Roberts, your little pet, David Roberts. So what happened was John Makini, he was a big Islander kid. He was a big kid. Like, normal size for an Islander meant like the biggest person in our year that was an Islander. And we were playing basketball and somebody tripped him. Yusuf Chuwaiki tripped him. I've kept that forever, Yusuf. I never said who tripped him, but it was you, Yusuf Chuwaiki. It was Yusuf Chuwaiki that tripped you. Tripped him accidentally, and he turned around angry with crazy fob eyes. You know?
Those are scary eyes.
And John has hit more people of anyone in our school, like a 3-to-1 ratio. You know, and so fucking, I jump in to break it up. He didn't know he hit him. And what does he do? He hits the first person that was there. He hits me. Almost took my head off. Right? My head like went this way, sideways. And something into my head was like just hit him. And I remember I hit him like 3 in a row, flush. Did nothing. 0 to him. And then everyone jumped in and got broken up. He missed. He hit me with the first one and missed a couple. He would have killed me otherwise. First shot he hit me with, fucking CTE for sure. You know? For some, I don't know why I didn't fall, how I didn't fall. He was a lot bigger than me, a lot bigger. And anyways, after me and him talked, we were good mates afterwards. But this guy, who was his mate as well, disappeared. Nobody could find him. Nobody found David. David was gone. Music room. Oh, I had to go to the music room. Whatever the fuck he went. But he was gone. Posted. Years later, he sets me up. He goes, "Oh, come and have coffee with us or dinner or whatever." And when I get there, no, he didn't tell me. There was John sitting there. True enough, Dave. And lucky that John was a good guy. And John's like, oh, bro, I just wanted to talk to you about that time that we had that fight the other day. And it was good. We sorted it all out. But, David.
It's fucking bullshit. I never knew that he hit you, man. I would have never put you in that situation.
That's what he did. That's a true story. The names are out there. John, Yusuf Chouaki, that's who you have to deal with.
You got to punch.
Do you remember Yusuf?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's not the first time. So this is another time where he's gone running to his little islander mates to
Mate.
Oh, no. Robbie, can I get you something? Oh, fuck this. No, seriously.
You got to go with the win, mate.
You got to go with the wind. All right. Barboza and Felder, what'd you think?
Mate, that fight was exactly that. It was like the same fight they had the first time, but they looked significantly more yoked. I think that's just age setting in as you start to hit your 30s and stuff, and Felder did a better job of moving in and being aggressive, leading that attack. I noticed that Felder threw more calf kicks this fight, trying to slow down his legs a little bit, as well. He did some real clever cross checks when Barboza was throwing those switch kicks, and I feel that may have caused Barboza to not throw as many, or
at least for Felder not to take as many flush.
Yeah, as many, and not to slow down. But that was a very close fight. That was a very, 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 very close fight. I'm happy with the decision. Could have gone either way. Personally, I thought Barboza did enough to win. I think he won the first round. I think he did enough in the second round to get the win with the takedowns, and then I feel he lost the third. But I'm still happy with the result regardless, because it was a very to the wire fight, and I think I think it is what it is.
Did you think in the first fight that Barboza hurt him a lot to the body with those kicks?
I think Barboza in the first fight definitely used his kicking game to slow Felder down with the kicks to the body, big one, kicks to the legs. In that first fight, he threw so many kicks to the legs, calf, thigh. He threw a lot of kicks.
How do you combat someone that kicks like that, kicks like Barboza, and he kicks so fast and so hard, and he kicks with zero concern about his own legs?
It's scary. It's scary. You know who used to kick like that I feel stopped for some reason? Thiago Alves.
Yeah, but he kind of stopped for I think he had other surgeries and stuff that for other reasons.
But I remember looking at him before he fought GSP and looking at Thiago Alves and being like, man, I don't want to fight that guy. And I was welterweight at that time. His legs looked like he was chopping down trees with them. But yeah, you have to, honestly, I think you have to work distance well, and you have to obviously do some kickboxing and or Muay Thai and work your check game. You have to work your check game. You have to work distance and your check game.
When people say check, does it hurt when you check somebody else's kick?
Yeah, definitely. It's bone on bone. It definitely hurts. But if it hurts, you hope it hurts them more. And it hurts a lot less than just copping it in the thigh, copping it in the leg. Yeah.
When you feel the shin to shin, what's that feel like?
You know what's funny? You don't really feel it in a fight, but then I've checked. I
was going to say you don't check kicks.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Have I checked kicks? You know what I am? I'm very pro for when it comes to the defense on the kick game. Take it from me, guys. If you go in and punch when they're throwing kicks, and you just do that the entire fight, you can win sometimes.
Well, that was the plan with Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
Because Uriah Hall, you didn't want to stand in the mid-range, so you kick the shit out of you.
So my go-to is you stay at range and then you're getting close. And you stay at range and you're getting close. And you play that sort of cat and mouse game. The problem with that is, when you're at range, they can kick you. They can close the distance and kick you. And you are going to get kicked. But, yeah.
But I think that's a big thing. You got to be, a guy like Paul Felder goes in there knowing this guy's going to kick me.
Yeah.
And you got to, that's a big psychological hurdle there.
And you know what I really like, and I saw it in the first fight. I seen him fight, this is how he fights, but he throws with with everything he has. Like every punch Paul Felder throws is with bad intentions and with the idea to knock you out. He just throws, and they were landing some good shots on each other. Barboza with that left hook, oof. He was getting that left hook, like the shell left hook on the break, on the clinch, like a lot of times. It was such a good shot, such a good punch. I saw Barboza in the first 2 rounds. He really tightened up from that last Gaethje fight. He tightened up, leaning out with his head up. Yeah. But in the round 3, when he was gassed and his hands down, he did it. He did it once, backing out.
When you say did it, can you explain to the audience?
So when Barboza fought Gaethje, he exited the strike, so the clash, the trade. That's a better word. He exited the trade with his hands down, chin up, and Gaethje caught him with that looping hook and knocked him out. And I saw in this fight, Barboza was not. He was very conscious of the fact, that's why he was always like shell, left hook, and he'd back out, hands up, almost all the time. Or he wouldn't back out, and Felder would back out, like he'd be ready to sit there and trade. Except for when he got tired in the third. And I think he only did it once, to his credit. And granted, he was tired, and there's a fight, and all that sort of stuff. But he backed out, hands down, chin up, and it was like just a moment. And I only picked it up because I remember him getting clipped like that last time, you know. But yeah, he certainly tightened it up. I think he tightened up a lot of his game from the Gaethje fight.
What's next for Felder there?
Well, Felder, so he would have to move to 7 or 6 with that win. The Barboza is 7, so he'd have to move to 7. So
there's a lot of good fighters in welterweight, man.
That's a great fight. We'll have to. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Felder recover and fight the winner of Hooker and Alquinta.
Oh, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, because that's the sort of fight Felder would want to move into that top 5 category, and I'm sure either one of those guys would want to fight a name. Or have to fight a name to play the role of gatekeeper for the first time in that 5th, unless Alquinta wins, and then he's pushing for a title shot. If Hooker wins, he may have to play gatekeeper, may push for a title shot. We'll have to wait and see. That's a great fight. They're fighting on the same card I am. I'm really pumped for that fight. I can't wait to see Hooker get in. Big fan of Hooker's, great guy. Always behind him when he takes the stage.
I think he'll beat Alquinta, and I'm a huge Alquinta fan.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't see a lot of guys at that welterweight, that lightweight.
He's not welterweight?
No, he's lightweight. Alquinta's lightweight.
And Barboza's.
They're lightweights.
The lightweights. Oh, I thought they were. Sorry, my bad.
No, they're all lightweights.
Yeah. Dude, Felder's huge. I remember sitting there looking at the screen. I go, Sophia, she was watching me. I go, how heavy do you think he is? He goes, it'd have to be a welterweight. And I was like, yeah, that's about right. But Felder's massive, man.
He's a big dude.
He's massive. Wow. Yeah. So yeah. As you were saying, please. Daniel Hooker's skill set. I think it's a great skill set for the guys that are in the division. I think it's a great skill set to take him to that top caliber.
He's got really good grappling, good striking.
Good grappling, great striking, great timing, great instincts, great distance, great cardio.
And I like him more now that he's not at featherweight. Remember Tom was cutting weight when we were in the... I don't know what fight it was. Might have been Brunson. Brunson or Uriah Hall. He was cutting to featherweight in the sauna with us. And he looked like he was going to die.
Yeah.
That was. I was looking at him.
Yeah, he was suffering bad for that one.
I don't want to be an accessory.
He was suffering bad for that one.
I don't know how. And he's a big guy, dude. When you see him getting to lightweight,
he's tall.
Yeah, he's taller than me.
He's very tall.
Yeah, and he gets down to even featherweight. I mean, to lightweight, he's still big. But I don't know how he got to featherweight. That was insane. That was crazy. Cerrone versus Gaethje.
That fight's coming up this weekend. I'm going to lean... That's a tricky fight. I'm going to lean towards Gaethje. I think Cerrone can beat him with a stand-up and hurt him at a distance and keep him at a distance. But Gaethje's tough. Gaethje can walk him down and can apply that pressure. And he's a big puncher as well. He's a big puncher. He's got great wrestling too. I don't know why he doesn't use it more. But I I think he can walk him down, tire him out, because Cerrone has been slowed down.
When people have pressured him, he hasn't been the best.
He's been slowed down and flustered. I'll say flustered when he's been put under pressure like that. You've seen it in a lot of his fights. Every time he's been pressured a lot, he's been flustered. He hasn't been able to capitalize on that mid-range kickboxing that he does so well. So I think Gaethje can definitely can walk him down, hurt him, pressure him, and get a win that way. Yourself?
No, I think Gaethje will do it. I think he'll do it, not because I don't think Cerrone's good. I just think because Gaethje's smart. He's got good people behind him. His coaches are smart, and they know. And Cerrone's smart too, and he's got good people around him. But I just see like guys with good boxing and good wrestling have not been kind to him. You know what I mean?
Huge gas tanks.
Yeah, like the guys that can just come forward and that. The only thing I don't like with Gaethje is he gets hit a bit. He gets hit and then to hit you back, you know what I mean? And, Cerrone's got good striking for that, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know as far as that's concerned. But if I had to pick, I'd say Gaethje. Yeah. And I like Cerrone a lot.
I feel Gaethje did a lot better in that last fight of his. I feel like he really tidied up his striking a little bit better.
He looked tidier. He looked better.
He looked much tidier. He looked less like, come on and hit me so I can hit you. And more like, okay, let's fight. Yeah, in my opinion.
Do you ever get caught up in that, Rob, when you're trading with someone that with you at your stage where somebody hits you and you just want to trade?
No, never. I've never really been like that. Since I can remember sparring, like when I start to spar, when I spar and when I go into the octagon, I go cold. I don't feel anything. Like I don't know. It's just something happens. I'm just that's the word. I'm just there. I'm just doing a job, trying to beat you. That's it.
Do you see Gaethje using his wrestling in this fight? Do you think that it will see that?
I want to. I hope so.
Because he's got a higher level wrestling.
He's got higher wrestling. I hope so. I want to see it because I think if Gaethje starts incorporating his wrestling, he can go the whole way. He's a great fighter. I just I guess we just got to see what he wants to do.
All right, there's another fight on that card. I mean, we could talk all night, but there's another fight on that card. Circunov and sorry if I said your name wrong. Don't.
Circunov.
Don't rip my head off if you see me. Versus Jimmy Crute.
Yes.
Who trained with us for a little bit.
Yep.
How do you see it? Did you train with Circunov when you were at TriStar?
Not that I can remember. I
think Blake did, another kid that trains with us.
He may have been there, but I'm not sure. Not that I can remember. Circunov is. You look at his resume. You look at the guys he's fought. He's experienced, and he's fought a lot of killers. And but in saying that, he's a very experienced fighter. You can see that in his resume. But in saying that, in his last 4 fights, he's been knocked out 3 times. That amount of head trauma is real. That amount of head trauma, especially in what were the dates for it? It was
since 2017, he's been knocked out in a fight 3 times.
Yeah. So
in sparring, he would have taken damage too.
Yeah, there's headshots, all outside of the fights as well. So to be knocked out 3 times, that's recorded within 2 years. And Jimmy Crute hits hard. You don't know how that head trauma is going to affect him with Jimmy Crute's sort of level of power. But in saying that,
does Jimmy Crute hit hard compared to other light heavies that you've moved with?
Jimmy Crute hits so hard, and we had him here. Everyone saw the size
of his dwarf hands,
size of his paws. Yeah, they're like this, and mate, it's just size matters. They're huge, and you can feel it.
Circunov, he's very good on the ground, though. He's very, very good.
He is.
Jimmy's good on the ground, too.
Surprisingly so. Not
why surprisingly? Why?
He's a big guy. I don't know why I said surprisingly so. He won his last fight with submission. I don't know. I don't know why I said surprisingly so. Jimmy, if you're watching this, I apologize.
He's not watching. No one's watching this. He's probably those guys that comment horrible comments.
There's
about
the
us.
one dislike. He's like,
Fuck
you, the piece of shit, Rob.
The other thing I like, Sam Greco, who's Jimmy's coach, was like a legend in kickboxing circles and that, and he's smart, man. When you talk to him about, like, I'm sure Circunov's coaches are smart too. I'm not saying they're not, but I think there's a lot of emphasis and. He works a lot with Sam Greco, like a lot one-on-one, a lot of that, and I think that's very present in Jimmy's game, is that style of kickboxing.
And he does, Jimmy can stick to a game plan, and he can follow instructions and work like that. So, I think it's going to be a hard fight, but I have to go for Jimmy. Like, he's one of the Aussie boys, and he's a friend of ours, so I'm gonna go for Jimmy. But I think it's going to be a hard fight.
Masvidal versus Diaz.
Mate.
What do you think? Not even about that, because it's a while still till that fight. But what do you think about that fight getting made? What do you think about all that?
I think it's great. I think they're both. It makes sense because they're both in that upper echelon of the bracket now. What's Masvidal now?
I don't know, 4 or 5.
Yeah, and Masvidal
3, 2, 1. I don't know. He's right up there.
Yeah, and Diaz would be the same after beating Pettis and Pettis having beat Wonderboy. So they're both up there. Both up there in that upper echelon. Like, they're fighting for title contention. So it's a fight that is smart. It's a fight that's going to make a ton of money. And it makes sense. I think it's going to be a great fight. And I think stylistically it's a great fight. I think personalities is going to sell that fight. I think they're both great personalities. And
but the thing with them, they're both like very genuine in their personalities.
Yeah.
Like, they're not cringeworthy when you watch them.
No.
Shut up.
No, they're, as Diaz said, they're real gangsters.
When they talk, man, like, it's real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not coming across as like fake or cringy. So I like that a lot. I'm glad that fight. Who do you got in that fight?
I'm gonna lean towards Nate. One, I'm a huge Nate fan.
It's 5 rounds?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, we were talking about that earlier. We think it's a 5-round fight because it may not be. So, but in a 5-round fight, I think Nate can just pressure him, not go away. Since Nate fought McGregor the second time and the way he fought Pettis, I thought he looked better. I feel like he's gotten better, honestly, in the layoff in his fight.
And bigger. He looks like he should be a welterweight.
He's much more comfortable at that weight. And on the back of that Pettis fight, I think he's gonna work out the kinks that was in that fight with his cardio.
How hard is it to go from one division to the next?
It's not hard to do. You just go up. But to do it successfully, it's very hard. Because when I went up to middleweight, I wasn't a middleweight for a long time. I was a fat welterweight for the first 4 fights. Because when I initially moved up to the middleweight, I was like, I can just eat whatever I want, and that's it. It's just all gold from here. So I just ate heaps, got really fat, fought Clayton Hester, really fat, but we adjust. You slowly get bigger, your muscles get denser. You start building that welterweight, that middleweight size, that new division size, and it takes a few years to do that. You can't rush that.
And what about your cardio?
And that's another thing, because your cardio has got to adapt to your new body shape, your new body size, and all that. There's big differences. And I think Nate was working that out with Pettis, is that the size difference, and you could see the kinks in Nate. Like, you should see him get tired, and he never gets tired. So you could see him get tired. So I think seeing Nate come up against Masvidal, you're going to see like a better Nate than we saw against Pettis, and that was a good Nate Diaz.
I'm really looking forward to that fight. Dave, do you have a horse in that race?
No bloody idea, man.
No idea?
No idea.
All right. I guess we go then to Mortal Kombat.
Rob just left.
Too bad.
Get a couple of rounds up before he comes back.
So I was going to ask you as well, David, stuff with the... Do you know anything about that's going on with any of the courses? Anything's coming up?
Yep, there should be a program commencing in September. There's probably still a couple of applications if people want to
for the GAP program,
if they want to email through.
Who should they email?
Pretty much just go to the Grange TV or the GAP Facebook page, or the enrolment form details are there. So we should be kicking off a full Cert 3, Cert 4, in sort of later on in the month.
Oh, awesome. That's really good news.
Yeah, just with that too, for Grange TV, we've got small cliplets being released 7 a.m. Every morning for the next probably,
Forever. Every morning at 7 a.m. we release a small clip of any of the past episodes that we've done. So probably, I think, Wednesdays we don't. I don't think. Hey, Wednesdays we don't?
No, I think we're doing them Wednesdays as well.
Okay. Well, every morning we're releasing at 7 a.m. Clip from Grange TV from past episodes. At the moment, we're just going to be doing a lot of the episodes that have gone by, just 5 or 10 minute clips of stuff. So all right. Are you willing to do this?
Yeah. So guys, just for reference, this is me getting a second title because I have the Mortal Kombat 1 title, and this is now Mortal Kombat 2. So this will be my second title. So I will be the Mortal Kombat champ.
Don't antagonise me, mate. There's things I know.
Hey Dave, how about Fab practicing the whole time before we got started?
Yeah, there was a lot of effort going in.
A lot of effort going in.
I know stuff about you, Rob.
Let's go, mate.
Do you want to air each other's dirty laundry out? Do you want to talk about your favourite part of the buffalo?
What's going on here? Press start.
Oh, look who ignores it.
Press start. Leave the buffalo out of this.
Please, guys, in the comment section, ask Rob to tell the buffalo story.
The buffalo story, I'm not going to go into it.
Ask for the buffalo story, people.
I was very tired. I was very, very tired. And
ask for the buffalo story.
Buffalo chicken wings don't contain any buffalo. I was talking. I don't want to be her.
Fight.
I don't want to be her. That was great. Oh shit! I'm fucking.
Finish him. That was so bad. That was so bad. You didn't tell the buffalo story. You got to tell the buffalo story.
That was so good. I chased the shit out of you.
That's so bad.
That was so good. Oh, you went back to Sub-Zero.
I went back.
I thought Reptile was your favourite.
He is.
Not anymore. Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Outstanding.
Oh, this is neck and neck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, you fuck.
I froze myself.
Oh, my God. Ah, sugar. Oh! Dustin!
Come on, you fuck!
Oh, no! No! Oh, yes! Bullshit!
Fight.
Oh, come on! Oh, fuck me. That does so much damage. Oh, fuck off. Oh.
Outstanding.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Wow. Don't cry. Okay,
Thank you guys. I'll see you all next week.
One apiece? We'll leave it with one apiece.
Nah.
Have a
That
go
was a
guys.
proper match.
One apiece?
That was a no, you said you didn't want to be
I
here.
flogged you the first one.
You said you didn't want to be here.
You still fought me.
I didn't fight you.
It's
I didn't
one
hit
apiece.
you hard.
The footage is out
I
there.
didn't hit you hard.
The truth
Thank you
will free
guys.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, people.
And I'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.
We fucking did it.